presentation of organizational design, structure, and change of the Target Corporation. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about the objectives, the organizational issues that Target has, ramifications and consequences, effects of organizational structure, design, and culture, embodiment of conscious capitalism, the Carter's 8-step change model, changes in subsystems, lessons learned, strategies for leading a team. The 9 dimensions that we learned about are innovation, quality management, long-term investment value, social responsibility, people management, quality of products, financial soundness, corporation assets. Those are the 8 dimensions that were done for Target. However, I'm going to talk about the 9th one, which is doing business globally. Target Corporation is a general merchandise retail store in all 50 states, even the District of Columbia. According to the Target website, 75% of the U.S. population lives within a 10-mile radius of the Target store. Target Corporation is one of the top retail stores in America and has scored a 17th in the position of the Fortune Most Admired Companies of 2021. There are 350,000 employees with their tagline, expect more, pay less. Target has scored ones in most of the categories. However, financial soundness and global competitiveness, it did not. The primary purpose of this presentation is to look to change Target into being a more globalized retail store. Having access to the store internationally will allow for a vast improvement of the company's financial gain. Global competition more than ever is now increasing. There's more competitive products with more features and options at a lower price with higher quality. Allowing for global opportunities creates for more recognition and accessibility. Some of the organizational issues that we're going to talk about is that Target does offer to buy online internationally. However, there's no physical stores internationally. The 9th dimension that I want to talk about focuses on the lack of doing business globally. Target Corporation does do business internationally, like I said. The Target operates a majority of its retail stores in the U.S., limiting its presence in international markets and reducing its revenue sources. The lack of global inclusion deprives the company from achieving economies on the scale of a wider consumer reach than more of a geographical diversified competitor such as Walmart. While companies like Walmart are worldwide, it is more recognized than Target and visited quite frequently more. By adding the competition retail store around the globe, it will create access to everyone, especially those that don't know about the corporation. Some of the ramifications that we're going to talk about is by not being globally recognized, it would create a financial burden against the global competition. For example, Walmart has a 75% product overlap with Amazon, whereas Target only a 30%. And Toys R Us has a overlap with Target is a 29%. This overlap has already seen the impact because Target is competing against like Walmart and Amazon. A retail store like Walmart is making debuts all over the world and is vastly growing. The consequences of Target's facing is of the lack of having this is for growth purposes. These strategies will include networking, structure, and strategic alliances for robust business systems and outsourcing strategies. Target also has a fair partnership with various brands such as Disney. By allowing global inclusion, these partners like Disney will also get recognition and exposure that they need. The brands will follow Target and get their abilities to be more wide and have their organizations grow. Some of the effectiveness of the organizational structure. When it comes to the individual retail stores, the retail stores are governed by regional headquarters. These headquarters are typically structured and established in major areas of North America, Asia, Latin, and Europe. Making these headquarters closer will allow business for quick, convenient access to the retail stores. The headquarters work collaboratively with the product divisions and give the local units clear operational goals and directions than typically happens under the global transitional division matrix system. Under the matrix system, the balance of global integration and local responsiveness. Target Corporation's headquarters systems will grow and more straightforward structure and guidance in the global settings. For example, I want to talk about Hyundai. Hyundai is a globalized auto retail company, and they're in over 200 countries, Asia, Middle East, Africa, and the Americas. The global inclusion that they allow a diversified presence and fairly spread revenue base, which ensures the company does not just rely on one market, but the majority of the revenues from around the world. In essence, will help with the industry that it's in. The effectiveness of the design. Target stores have a solid values and dedication mission to serve the consumers. There is a model that Target has, and it's designed for all. This motto is what sets Target apart from other competitors. This design to Target means that it's taking the expected and make it extraordinary by creating and taking products with innovation, making the shopping experience better. Target takes its products, brands, and services to inspire consumers to meet their needs. Target aims to make every family Target run convenient, reliable, relevant, affordable, and packed with a joyful experience that you wouldn't find anywhere else. Having global partnerships will allow this to create in-person retail stores all over the world to allow guests that worldwide view of what Target is. The effectiveness of the culture. Now more than ever, people expect institutions and companies to play a role in creating a more inclusive society for everyone. And the influence that Target can have from the U.S., it can be significantly impacted to the culture around the world. Target, under the dimension that we talked about earlier, do outstanding in the social part. However, Target focuses on a saying called Target Forward, which it's the future for the companies, and at the equality for all the employees. Target, along with all the employees, has offered 200 million debt-free degrees to all the employees of Target. By allowing this opportunity for the globe, it will also bring opportunities for others to attend college and get their degrees as well. And this will ultimately help Target keeping the homegrown employees to continue getting their educations. Under conscious capitalism, Target is the leading firm of the community engagement on top of the stakeholders and has a meaningful purpose of who they are. The community has always been at the core of who they were. Their efforts are caring for the communities as fostering communities connections. Through the inclusive of the partnership programs, Target supports local, national, and global organizations to enlist the team members to enrich the communities that they live, work, and play in. Being involved with part of the community has attracted other businesses to follow these principles. This organizational structure of Target Corporation is a model for everyone. In 2019, Target announced a partnership with Disney. They opened 25 stores immediately, and then after that, opened another 40. Under the Carter 8-step process, the critical task of the process is creating short-term goals, and then providing the rewards once those short terms are met. We can easily follow the 8-step process by making change and letting others know the importance of what the steps are. Getting others involved in this is to share the importance of how being a globalized store will help not only the company but everyone around the world. By creating groups and adding individuals to figure out what needs to be done, you have to once that is set, figure out what the barriers are and understanding what these barriers will be to know what changes are going to be in the way. And once you get the higher ups to understand that this is important, you'll have the backing from all the higher ups in the organization, and ultimately it will prepare to get everyone ready to figure out these new behaviors and the success of the organization. Some of the challenges that we're going to see is that people do work in different ways, and so we have to increase the diverse ethical challenges that will be overall in the place. There are several challenges that Target will face by creating retail stores in the global form. First and foremost, it needs to be determined whether or not the goods will be produced domestically and at a specific country. Once that's figured out, the 5 common things are language barriers. We obviously have to figure out all the different languages that are going to be used. Traditions, there's different holidays, arts, food, social norms, consumes that are going to happen in that specific area that we need to be aware about. We also need to make sure that we manage the teams globally because everyone has different personalities, different ways to work. The currency rates are going to be part of it because we have to monitor the inflation rates and see how much the exchange rates are going to be. And finally, the current political relationships between all the countries to make sure that there's no problems going on between in the political worlds. Under the subsystems that we might get pushback from, we have to know that the divisions and sections, we have to create the different areas to know what's going to affect each one. And once we have a balance amongst everything, we're going to know that the financial part of it, the facility part, the marketing, to create a better organization in what's needed to get done. By knowing what the local state ordinance is, as an example, as far as this group that are going to get together to figure it out. We have to, under the Delphi technique, we have to appoint the people that are experts in what they know and bring them a part of this teams to help create a better diverse group. Some of the lessons that I learned that I'm going to use is in organizations that are critical is a development to change of understand the global issues. Taking advantage, starting this by little at a time, and rewarding, in essence, will help with the bigger picture. By not taking on so much at once, I will know what needs to be done, and and help with parts of failure, because obviously things are going to fail, but as long as we have options and goals after that, we'll know how to proceed. Having the support system is obviously very important. From the top management and above, it's essential. We need to have that security blanket to know that we have the backing of the leaders in the organization. So myself as a leader, make sure that we have the backing and we can continue to include. Keeping track of the progress is obviously crucial in the entire process, and knowing what needs to be done. Here are my resources. I have 2 pages because there's a good amount of resources in the system. And I just want to say thank you for the time of listening to my presentation.